Hello everyone and welcome to this session on accountability in professional ethics. In this session, we will be discussing a concept that is central to moral and professional duty. Accountability in professional ethics means you take ownership of your actions, choices and results even when it's tempting to point fingers elsewhere. It involves routinely measuring your work against the organization's code, voicing concerns when something seems off, and accepting the fallout, whether positive or negative. When leaders demonstrate this openness, it fosters a workplace where every individual feels answerable for maintaining integrity rather than merely checking boxes. Ultimately, accountability transforms ethical principles into a daily habit. Dear students, by the end of this lecture, you will be able to understand concept of accountability, characteristics and importance of accountability, types of accountability, relevance of accountability in personal, social and professional life, and challenges and strategies for developing accountability. With this understanding, let us now begin our discussion by exploring the concept and characteristics of accountability. Accountability encompasses the moral and professional duty of an individual to justify their actions, decisions, and results. It signifies the readiness to take responsibility, reveal the truth, and acknowledge the repercussions of one's actions. When individuals embrace accountability, they exhibit integrity, transparency, and dependability. Accountability is crucial in personal life as it fosters discipline, honesty, and self-restraint. In social contexts, it enhances trust and collaboration. In professional settings, accountability serves as the foundation of effective governance, quality service, and ethical conduct. In contemporary society, where organizations encounter issues like misconduct, corruption, negligence, and a lack of transparency, accountability is vital for rebuilding trust and supporting institutional integrity. Embracing accountability promotes fairness, deters the abuse of power, and encourages a culture of responsibility. Accountability pertains to an individual's readiness to embrace the responsibility for their choices, actions, and behaviors. It involves acknowledging what one has done, comprehending the effects of those actions, and being prepared to justify them to others when necessary. Additionally, it encompasses being open during decision-making and being willing to rectify errors when situations do not unfold as anticipated. In workplace environments, accountability fosters trust, enhances ethical conduct, and guarantees that individuals execute their responsibilities with dedication. Accountability signifies the ethical commitment to report, justify, and accept responsibility for the consequences of one's actions. It ensures that individuals engage in their tasks with honesty, transparency, and integrity throughout the process. It comprises of answerability, offering clear justifications and explanations for one's actions or decisions, responsibility, diligently carrying out assigned responsibilities and obligations, a task or duty allocated to an individual which can be shared or delegated to others. Transparency, upholding openness, honesty, and clarity in the processes of decision-making. Liability, acknowledging the outcomes, whether positive or negative, that result from one's actions. Integrity, reflecting fairness, honesty, and strong moral values in all endeavors. The duty to respond for the final outcome of a task regardless of others' involvement. Accountability cannot be delegated. The individual in charge remains responsible for the ultimate result. Coming to the characteristics of accountability. Dear students, following are the characteristics of accountability, including taking full ownership of your actions, being transparent about decisions and outcomes, and consistently applying standards even when it is inconvenient. It also means responding promptly to problems, following up to ensure corrective steps are taken, and demonstrating a commitment to learning from mistakes. Together, these traits turn accountability from a catchphrase into a daily habit that reinforces ethical behavior such as answerability, the capability to justify decisions and actions; transparency, the practice of openly sharing pertinent information; ownership, accepting responsibility for tasks and their outcomes; reliability, being trustworthy and consistent; willingness to accept consequences, acknowledging mistakes with sincerity; ethical conduct, acting in a moral and responsible manner; commitment, dedicating oneself to fulfilling responsibilities; performance orientation, aiming for high quality results; consistency, holding the same standards every day, not just when it is convenient; responsiveness, acting quickly to fix it when something goes off track. These traits together turn accountability from a buzzword into a daily driver of ethical performance. Going through characteristics, now let us understand importance of accountability. Accountability matters because it turns promises into results. When people own their work, trust builds, teams move faster, and ethical slip-ups drop. It creates a culture where mistakes are fixed, not hidden, and everyone knows their contribution directly shaped the outcome. In short, holding yourself and others accountable keeps the organization reliable, credible, and ready to handle whatever comes next. Over time, this habit of taking responsibility builds a reputation for reliability, both inside the organization and with clients or partners. Accountability builds trust, ensures quality and efficiency, increases performance and avoids negligence, promotes transparency, boosts credibility and openness, prevents corruption and misconduct, minimizes manipulation, bias, exploitation, and fraudulent behavior, strengthens professional and institutional integrity. Accountability is not just a buzzword, it is the glue that holds teams together. When everyone owns their commitments, decisions become transparent and trust grows fast. That trust fuels collaboration because people know they can rely on each other to deliver what they promised. It also speeds up problem solving. Issues surface quickly, get addressed, and do not fester into bigger crises. Dear students, now let us understand the types of accountability. Number one, personal accountability. Personal accountability means you take full ownership of everything you do, your choices, actions, and the results that follow. It starts with self-awareness, regularly checking whether you are meeting the standards you set for yourself or that others expect. When something goes wrong, you don't blame others. You ask, what part did I play and how can I fix it? Key elements include: number one, ownership. Treat every task as yours, even if it was assigned to you, and see it through to completion. Transparency. Share progress, setbacks, and decisions openly so teammates can stay aligned and offer support. commitment to standards. Hold yourself to the same ethical and performance rules you expect from others, even when no one is watching. Responsiveness. Address mistakes quickly, learn from them, and adjust your approach rather than ignoring the issue. Continuous improvement. Reflect on what worked, what didn't, and set concrete steps for the next round, keeping the cycle of self-awareness alive. In practice, personal accountability involves setting clear goals, tracking your own progress, admitting shortfalls, and taking proactive steps to get back on track. It reduces the need for constant oversight, builds trust with colleagues, and leads to higher performance and greater personal satisfaction. Social accountability. Social accountability is the way societies, institutions, or groups answer to the people they affect. It is not just an individual's promise to do the right things. It is a shared system of checks, dialogue, and correction that keeps power in check and build trust. At its heart are three pillars. Number one, transparency. Organizations openly share how they make decisions, where money goes, and what results they achieve. When this information is public, outsiders can see whether promises match reality and raise questions before problems stay hidden. Number two, participation. Stakeholders, citizens, customers, employees, community group are invited to voice concern, ask questions, and help shape solutions. This is not a one-off survey. It is an ongoing conversation that gives people real influence over outcomes that affect them. Next is answerability. When gaps appear, missed deadlines, flawed policies, unintended harm, the entity acknowledges the issue, explains what went wrong, and outlines concrete steps to fix it. The response is public and time-bound so the community can track progress. In practice, social accountability shows up in several ways. Governments post budget details online and hold town hall meetings so citizens can question officials. Companies issue sustainability reports, allow third-party audits, and set up complaint channels that feed back into product design. NGOs create community scorecards that let beneficiaries rate performance and trigger corrective action. When people see that their voices can trigger change, they are more likely to engage trust in institutions and cooperate. It creates a feedback loop. Transparent data highlights inefficiencies, participation uncovers blind spots, and answerability forces corrective measures. Over time, this loop drives better decisions, reduces corruption, and aligns actions with the public good. So, social accountability is a democratic safety net woven from openness, involvement, and the obligation to make things right when they go off track. It turns abstract responsibility into a tangible, everyday practice that benefits both the powerful and the people they serve. Next is professional accountability. Professional accountability is the commitment that people in a work setting have to own their actions, decisions, and results, and to answer for them to colleagues, managers, clients, and other stakeholders. It's not just about doing your job. It is about doing it in a way that upholds the standards, values, and reputation of the organization. At its core, professional accountability rests on three interlinked ideas. Ownership. You treat every task, project, or problem as yours, even when it is handed to you. Instead of passing the buck, you ask, what can I do to move this forward? and you follow through until the issue is resolved. Next is transparency. You keep others informed about progress, setbacks, and the reasoning behind your choices. Sharing information early prevents surprises, builds trust, and lets teammates offer help or feedback when it is most useful. Answerability. When something does not go as planned, you acknowledge it openly, explain what happened, and outline the steps you will take to fix it and prevent recurrence. This is not about assigning blame. It is about showing that you can be relied upon to make things right. In practice, professional accountability shows up in several everyday behaviors. Setting clear expectations. You define what done looks like for each deliverable and confirm those expectations with your manager and peers. Tracking and reporting. You use status updates, metrics, or check-ins to show where things stand, rather than waiting for a deadline to reveal a problem. Next, seeking feedback. You actively ask for input, view critiques as data, and adjust your approach accordingly. Delivering on commitments. If a deadline shifts, you communicate promptly, renegotiate if needed, and keep the team aligned. Learning from outcomes. After a project ends, you conduct a quick debrief, document lessons learned, and apply these insights to future work. When individuals hold themselves accountable, teams spend less time chasing missing information and more time moving forward. It builds a culture of reliability where colleagues trust each other to deliver quality work on time. For the organization, it reduces risk, improves performance, and strengthens its reputation with clients and the wider industry. In short, professional accountability is the daily practice of taking responsibility, being open about your work, and following through on commitments. It turns personal reliability into a collective advantage. Now, organizational accountability. Organizational accountability is the way a whole company or institution makes itself answerable for what it does, how it behaves, and the results it produces. It is not just a set of rules for individuals, it is a system that ties every level of the organization from the boardroom to the front line to shared standards and consequences. At its heart, organizational accountability means that the organization openly admits its responsibilities, reports on its performance, and takes collective action when it falls short. The goal is to create a culture where decisions are transparent, outcomes are measurable, and stakeholders can see that the organization lives up to its promises. Its key components are: number one, clear expectations. The organization defines what it stands for, mission, values, and what success looks like goals, key performance indicators. These expectations are communicated to employees, customers, investors, and the public so everyone knows what to hold the organization to. Transparent reporting. Regular reports, financial statements, sustainability disclosures, progress dashboards show actual results against the set targets. By publishing this information, the organization invites scrutiny and demonstrates honesty. Decision-making structures. Authority is paired with responsibility. Managers are empowered to make choices, but they must also explain those choices and accept the outcomes. This prevents passing the buck and ensures that power is exercised with oversight. Stakeholder engagement. Customers, partners, regulators, and community members are given channels to voice concerns, ask questions, and provide feedback. The organization responds promptly, showing that it values outside perspectives. Accountable culture. Leaders model the behavior they expect. When mistakes happen, they are acknowledged openly. Lessons are extracted and corrective steps are taken. Recognition is given when teams meet their commitments, reinforcing the link between performance and accountability. Consequences and rewards. Performance is linked to tangible outcomes. Bonuses, promotions, or public recognition reward consistent accountability, while missed obligations trigger coaching, reassignment, or in severe cases, disciplinary action. This ensures the system is fair and predictable. In short, we can say organizational accountability is a structured, ongoing commitment to own results, be open about performance, and act decisively when things go wrong. It turns abstract responsibility into a daily, visible practice that sustains long-term success. Moral accountability. Moral accountability is the personal commitment to act in ways that line up with ethical principles and to own the impact of those actions. It goes beyond rules or legal requirements. It is about asking yourself whether what you are doing is right, fair, and respectful of others, even when no one is watching. At its core, moral accountability rests on three ideas. Number one, recognizing ethical standards. You have a clear sense of values that matter to you: honesty, fairness, compassion, respect for human dignity. These become the benchmark you measure your choices against. Number two, owning the outcomes. When you make a decision, you accept the consequences, good or bad. If a choice leads to harm, you don't deflect or blame circumstances. You acknowledge the role you played and seek to make amends. Number third, reflecting and improving. After each situation, you pause to ask what you learned, how you could have acted differently, and what you will do next time. This habit of self-examination turns mistakes into growth. In practice, moral accountability shows up in everyday moments. Admitting a mistake at work rather than covering it up. Speaking up when you see unfair treatment, or choosing to keep a promise even if it is inconvenient. It builds trust with others because they know you will act consistently with your values, and it strengthens your own sense of integrity. When individuals hold themselves morally accountable, societies function better. Trust grows, conflicts lessen, and communities become more cohesive. It also creates a personal resilience. Coming to the relevance of accountability in personal, social, and professional life. Accountability is the common denominator that turns intentions into results, whether you are working on a personal habit, nurturing a friendship, or delivering a project at the office. It is the habit that makes every other habit stick. Accountability shapes every aspect of life. Personally, it turns aspirations into action, building self-trust and resilience. Socially, it nurtures trust and cooperation, making relationships stronger and communities more cohesive. Professionally, it drives performance, fuels collaboration, and opens doors to growth. When we consistently own our choices stay transparent and respond to outcomes, we create a ripple effect, better habits, deeper connections, and more reliable organizations. In short, accountability is the bridge that turns intention into lasting impact wherever we happen to be. Now coming to challenges to practicing accountability. Fear of reproach or repercussions, avoidance behaviors, lack of transparency within systems, workplace politics or external pressures, insufficient clarity in roles, conflicting interests, inadequate leadership or unethical role models, pursuit of short-term advantage. Recognizing these challenges assists individuals in adopting more responsible and constructive behaviors. Now coming to strategies for developing accountability. Number one, self-assessment and reflection. Continuously evaluating one's actions and taking corrective steps. Clear expectations and roles. Understanding one's responsibilities clearly to avoid ambiguity and enhance performance. Emphasizing honesty. Owning up to mistakes and being truthful in reporting. Keeping commitments, consistently following through on promises. Efficiently managing time and resources. Preventing delays, misappropriation or carelessness. Ensuring transparency. Openly sharing accurate information. Requesting feedback. Gaining insights from mentors, peers or superiors. Learning from failures. Perceiving setbacks as chances for growth. Avoiding the blame game. Taking responsibility for results instead of blaming others. Fostering ethical leadership. Leaders should exemplify accountability and responsibility. In conclusion, accountability is an essential value that strengthens personal character, social relationships, and professional excellence. It encourages individuals to take ownership of their actions, remain transparent, and accept consequences with honesty. By practicing accountability, people build trust, prevent misconduct, and contribute to ethical and responsible systems. In every sphere of life, accountability supports fairness, improves performance, and promotes a culture of integrity. Ultimately, it helps create disciplined individuals and trustworthy institutions. When we consistently own our choices, stay transparent, and respond to outcomes, we create a ripple effect, better habits, deeper connections, and more reliable organizations. In short, accountability is the bridge that turns intention into lasting impact wherever we happen to be. Thank you, dear students, for your active participation, attention, and dedication throughout this learning journey.